they're not very tasty. I've tried. Well, the only point I tried to make is that these trees, larches, are what they call transboreal. It means they grow above the Arctic Circle all around the world, from Russia to Alaska and around, right, all the way around. Transboreal. They're tough as hell. In the taiga in Russia, these things grow as a carpet. It's a large carpet. Yeah. In the swamps of Maine, they grow in anaerobic muck in the last 3 inches of the peat. That's it. A tree like this in, say, New Brunswick or in Maine, a tree this size and this shape, 500 years old in the anaerobic crap. So.
And you said the roots only go down 3 inches.
3 inches in permafrost, the defrosted permafrost. They grow for about 3 weeks a year, and they're done. It's like Newfoundland and Greenland, Nova Scotia, northern Alaska, Nunavut, I guess is how you say the new name for the Northwest Territories. Anyway, yeah, transboreal, tough as hell. On Mars, largest. Okay, this is also a really cool branch. And you know what's really nice is I haven't broken one branch yet. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've done lectures and I've been like, and now we will wire the primary branch, which is integral to the design. Crack! Okay, new design.
Happy accident.
You know what? I know this guy, Larry. He says when you collect them, and a branch breaks, he says, that was not an artistically significant bit of foliage. So, okay. Dude, the top just fell off. Yeah. I do like collecting trees from nature. I don't think that I'm raping the environment. I think I'm moving the biosphere around. There are places in Wyoming and Montana where ranchers eradicate juniper because the foliage is a diuretic, and the less intelligent species of cattle will eat it and urinate themselves to death. So they eradicate it. Yep. I used to go from New York City out to Wyoming, and I would pay ranchers to let me collect juniper. My greatest question I ever got from a rancher was, boy, you got a shovel? I was like, okay, yes sir, yes sir. We're completely prepared. No one gonna pay me. I've collected trees all over the United States. I've collected in every mountain range and in pretty much every culture. This was a little bit of a screw up there. If my teacher ever saw how I did that, I would get in trouble. Anyway, I've collected in Wyoming and Colorado and Montana. I've collected in the Queen Charlotte Islands in British Columbia, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, upstate New York. I've collected in the Wind River Range, the Absarokas, the Rockies. It's fun, The Sierra Nevada, if Caltrans ever knew, I'd be in jail. Okay, that branch is wired. Really it is. There are some that are very tiny, and they're going to have to be wired infilled. Remember, I selected a front. I'm going to stand with you. So I did select the front, and I'm going to work with that as the front. So I'm just going to make 100% sure that excites me. Okay, yes it does. So we want to accentuate curves and minimize straight. So this is a curve, I want to accentuate it. So that's accentuated. I need to bring it back, but this is now in the way. I bend at branches. See? I bend at the little branch. I will bend at the branch. I will bend at the branch, then down, then up. Oh, goodness. Okay, there.
I can't believe it's not just cracking.
It's a conifer. It's spring. It's got a lot of water in it, right? But I haven't watered it in a week. Check it out. When you have celery not in water in your refrigerator, it wilts. Same thing with trees. There, I'm teaching you all the tricks. This is out of the way. This one, bend at a branch, at a branch, at a branch, at a branch. And we're going to trim inside the curves. A little bit finer scissor here. Okay. go. I'm going to trim this just a little. There.
I'm impressed at how malleable it is. The fact that it's both malleable, but that the wire will actually hold it as a spring.
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
tree will
physics,
pull it
man.
back.
It's science.
So if you start watering it again, will it try to pull those curves out?
The beauty of it is that I'm pulling fibers apart in the lignin, in the tree's actual makeup. These are dead. This is not part of the phloem or the xylem. I'm pulling those fibers apart. I'm making voids in there. Those voids will be filled with compounds of cellulose and carbohydrates, and it will actually infill those voids and then make it rigid again.
Is it best to do these sort of thing in the springtime?
Yeah, this is 2 weeks too late for this one, but it's okay. This is about 2 weeks too late. What I just did here was I filled a visual void. I looked at it, there was a visual void there. I'm going to make a plane of foliage. Let me just step back a little bit. Okay? That's another thing, is like what we're going to do is we're going to fill voids. I love this branch. I'm going to put this right here. This is exactly where I wanted it.
So again, it's the same stuff you see in nature, because anything sticking up in the wind is going to get leaned over.
It's gonna
by
get
dust.
whacked,
So
yep.
it's going to be planar or whipped around in corners or circles
Yep.
or what have you.
Also, the continuous manipulation of these branches shortens them. Kind of
Yeah.
neat, right? Because you're adding curves. This one is a really radical bend. And that shortened that dramatically, gave me a new tip. This one is now facing straight down. I'm just going to look here, take those out. Then I'm going to work on this one, fill this void. Use as much of it as I can. See, they now fill that void. I have a new tip. I'm going to be able to trim this one at some point. Here's another one, new void. Now, change planes. If I put everything on the same plane, it would be visually boring. So I'm going to bring this up. Weird, but I'm going to bring it up.
Well, it also wouldn't happen in nature.
It wouldn't happen in nature, right? God damn. Some days I miss the tip of my thumb. Okay.
Do you need a hand with that?
I need a new thumb tip, but no, I'll be okay.
You're the guy that hit the USB finger drive.
I saw that. A little too weird. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Okay. I always reference. I always come back and reference.
USB drive instead. So you unplug this finger, it plugs the computer.
So when you said it's 2 weeks too late,
Oh, I would have did it when the buds were small, just ever so slightly smaller. Because I am kind of beating on them a little.
You don't want to necessarily snap them off because they become new points of growth.
Yeah, and it annoys the tree. At a certain point, it's like the proper word is retard. It's going to retard you, no matter what Sarah Palin says. It will retard the growth of the tree. Okay. What I'm doing here is just really quickly. If I don't remember to cut them, I'm gonna forget, and then I'm gonna come out in 3 weeks, and there's gonna be one of those. So, okay.
so why spring in particular? Is it because it's got...
Because it's really juiced now.
Okay, yeah.
It put all its carbohydrates in the roots for the winter, That first flush, that hormone flush that it gets when the temperature changes, man, just makes it all rush up. And photosynthesis is at its minimum. But root, oh God, we're in botany. Do you really want botany right now?
No, I mean, you don't have to go deep into it, but I get what you're saying. So after the harsh winter, it goes through a process, right?
Can I tell you something? If you wanted to know radical, my teacher, Dan, would at this point say, what is that ugly thing on the right? The whole tree. Because as I've done this branch, right, I never liked this. But as I'm bringing this up, right, I'm saying this can all go. In fact, this is not planned, so I am going to... Oh yeah, that all goes. I can make this whole thing go.
And the head doesn't look very good anymore.
Well, it's nowhere near done,
Right.
right? I mean, we can manipulate this. This can be manipulated so dramatically, right, into all of these void spaces. And then that's an interesting tree. A couple of things people would do is say,